the truth behind the disguise. They want us to go away, only our hearts do we obey. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo, we gonna buck the status quo.
Hello, hello, hello out there in IW world. Hey tribe, how's it going? Of course, my name's Hugh Tyson from Irreverent Warriors. We are here on this rather gloomy Friday.
Weird. Normally
we get
a magic, man.
Usually we get a great Friday. We're here in the studio. Of course, I'm joined with Will Wisner, the executive director from the Grunt Style Foundation, and also our special guest, Tim, who's here to talk about a couple of different interesting subjects today.
That's right.
And we will get deeply into that. But first, we wanted to share some somber news from the front line, and I'll pass it over to Will.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. Unfortunately, we have some bad news to share today. We have lost another member of our family. Dr. Carol Henricks. She was an advisory board member in our alternative modalities program, but much more importantly to me on that, Carol played one of the most important roles of anybody that is entered into my life. Carol is a neurologist, and she was the person that saved my life back around 2020 when my brain injuries were really in full raging form. And Carol was working with CTE with the concussion problem with the NFL. And Carol had surmised that, this is so effective with these folks with big dollars that they can spend on this kind of a treatment. And what does this therapy have to offer for our veterans that are dealing with brain injuries and TBIs? And so she was very kind to me, and she put me up for 3 months down in Tucson, Arizona. We rented a house and started bringing veterans down to her program. She has what's called North Star hyperbaric oxygen. It's a hyperbaric oxygen therapy and several other modalities packaged all together.
Nice.
And it was through Carol's wisdom and her staff that they were able to kind of make a bespoke program for me and several other veterans that went down there that were also suffering from issues of military-related toxic exposure illness as well as head trauma. And when I found Carol, I was at the point where I was having a lot of cognitive issues. I did a lot of public speaking. I was a consultant. I was running a lot of really high-profile capital campaigns for the Roman Catholic Church at that time, and was getting to the point where I couldn't hold a thought for very long. My short-term memory was basically gone, and I would oftentimes find myself in the middle of mid-sentence and then just completely at a loss for what it was that I was trying to convey. And I went and spent some time with Carol, and she restored me. And that was one of the most important steps along my journey. And so tell you what, man, God sends a lot of angels down here to this whole world, and Carol is perhaps one of his finest ever. This woman, I've seen her not only provide that amazing care and just thoughtful and beautifully kind way that she did that, but for those that were having a hard time, making the ends meet, or it's still a challenge. Even with her providing the service, there's still so much that goes into that. You've got to take time out of your life. You got to have a place to stay. You got to have food. You got to have all the basics, to get through that period. And I've seen a lot of veterans come there really without much to their name. They're at that point in their journey, and she would personally dig into her own pockets and make that possible for people. So,
wow.
Just want to make sure that we're taking this time. It's a big loss to our team. She was absolutely a star, man. So
I'm sorry to hear that, man. You've just been getting hit with a lot.
I know, right?
You've been getting hit with a lot, man.
It's a lot, man. It's something's weird. Something's weird in the energy right now. We're losing the best among us. I'm not sure what that is forewarning, but we love you, Carol. We're gonna continue to push forward the work that she cared so deeply about. Our foundation has given north of 15 hyperbaric units away to veterans in need, and that was inspired by the work of Dr. Henricks. And we're going to continue to advocate in her memory, and also because it's the right thing to do. And we're going to get this issue with hyperbaric oxygen as a therapy available, and that's our commitment, and we're going to continue to do that with all the other great members of our team like Kevin Hensley and Dr. Beckman and Jamie O'Brien, all those other folks in our foundation that are working with Carol, and we're not gonna rest until we get that over the finish line as well. So Thanks for letting me share that, guys.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Will. I definitely, everyone has their own beliefs, but I feel very strong that these folks that are crossing over are pulling us across on the other side. Like they are on the other side, helping shepherd a lot of these new modalities and these ancient modalities and these ways of healing. They are helping from the other side.
Oh, 1,000%. And she was a deeply religious woman, a big spiritual heart. So as effective and as powerful as she was on this side of the fence, having gained a great warrior over there on that side. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, that's disheartening. We've had a tough year, in the veteran community, and I think at this time, as we see what's happening in our country, I think it's important for all of us to pull together, and unity is the most important thing that we can do right now for each other and be there for each other.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because so many different things, just as Boone Cutler would teach about fifth generational warfare, there's so many outside players that and so many folks that want us to be divided against each other, both
right.
inside the country, outside the country. Division allows for other things to happen. So it's good for us to all pull together at times like this.
We have to. We have to do that as our mantra for every day. So
yeah. Speaking of pulling together, we had a big week last week at Irreverent Warriors. I want you to tell us what happened with Grunt Style Foundation down in San Antonio. But we had our big Massachusetts hike, large turnout, very, very successful there in Worcester, there south of Boston, and that's where all the Boston area folks and all the other folks from Massachusetts and the East Coast kind of gather. So that hike was phenomenal.
It's a big one.
Yeah, big turnout, very, very successful. So shout out to Bob and the team out there.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Great work. Yep. And we also had our first IW all-female Silkies retreat in Indianapolis. And we have Kim, who was on the leadership team with Stacy that helped kind of plan and execute this retreat in Indianapolis, and she is on the phone with us. And I just want to hear from Kim. First of all, I want to say great work, excellent effort. I know that it's sold out in record time, and we are definitely planning another one, but I'd love to hear what everybody did, what the feedback was, and how excited you are for next year.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. I wish Stacy was able to join us as well because this was kind of her baby as well. But it was a great time. It was great. We had about 30 women in an Airbnb where we just took the time. We were, together. We talked about our experiences. We went through, there was a lot of vulnerability, which was always good to see, a lot of positive uplifting each other. We did meditation. We did breath work. We had a day where we took 4 fitness classes back to back. We did boxing, um, bungee fitness, trampoline fitness, and then we learned some new skills. Um, did some pole fitness. And then we did a spa night where everybody just got to sit back, relax, made s'mores, did facials, did mani pedis, and just got to sit down and relax, and then enjoyed breakfast Sunday morning. That Stacy and I cooked for everybody, and we closed out, exchanged phone numbers, and everybody went home.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So you made some new friends, it sounds like.
Yes.
What about next year? Tell me, was there demand for this to be done again?
Absolutely. There's definitely a demand for it to be again next year. And we're looking at having a larger facility for us to have it at because we realized that we had a full house and we needed more room just to do some of our activities, which is great. It's great to know that, this is going to come back next year and that we're going to need more space because there is more interest in it. And as we put out, more of what happened in the photos and videos and stuff, It's going to draw the attention. And it was a very empowering weekend for us female veterans.
Awesome. I love that you guys were able to hold that space for each other and for it to be led, female veterans and then led by female veterans and then healing all together and leading by example. I just think it's absolutely phenomenal. Something that stands out to me about IW is that we are 40% female participation at all of our events. Mm-hmm. And that just blows me away because only 11% of veterans are female, but we are getting, 4X the average participation we're getting from the female veteran community. And I think it's because they're leading, they're bringing in each other, and they're able to help guide Irreverent Warriors into the next phase of our growth. They really are like the most important part of our tribe right now. So hats off to you all, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having
Kim.
me.
You are, as always, you are just everywhere and on top of it. And anything Miss Pond puts her mind to, I know that it's going to be a top shelf product. So thanks, Kim. Good to see you again, dear.
Thank you.
All right. Well, speaking of retreats, let's talk about we've got our guest here in the studio with us, Tim, today.
Yeah, Tim Houserow. He's quite a man of many talents and quite an interesting guy. We met Tim last year at our inaugural integration event, and I guess he liked it so much he came back for round 2.
Love it.
And I had opportunity to go down and take a look at what he is putting together down near Pacific, Missouri, which is just outside of St. Louis for those not from the area. And man, you've got some big visions, man. And before we jump into kind of what your plan is and kind of how it fits in the world of the work we're doing with our integration and alternative healing modalities, which it's pretty much finger and glove kind of a situation there. You're also a very pretty powerful advocate in your own right, spreading the word on vaccine-induced injuries, I believe.
Well, call it long COVID.
Long COVID, okay.
Yeah, because vaccines injury is about 70% of the people that are injured. The other 30% is strictly from long COVID.
Oh, man. So that was your kind of your origin story, getting into the work that you do on the advocacy side. And I'm assuming some of that must be informing your work with alternative healing modalities.
Yep, that's what brought me to this and brought me here today. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, I want to have you back and just do a whole big deep discussion on that line of work that you're into and kind of the background on that. But today, I'd like for you to tell us a little bit more about what it is that you've got cooking down there in Pacific.
So could we learn a little bit about Tim's background?
Yeah, let's do that. It's a better place to start.
Yeah, I'd personally love to know.
Yeah, we know you, so we just took it for granted that those watching may not.
So the intro of how this all came about for the Healing Center?
Yeah.
Is that where we're going?
Sure, and your connection with the veteran and first responder community.
Yeah, so it all started with COVID, endurance athlete before I got COVID in 2020. And then 4 days after contracting COVID, I couldn't get out of bed without collapsing and suffocating. So that lasted for 828 days. And that's a whole story we can dive into separately from this. But about a year and a half into it, my daughter received an HPV vaccine when I was well on my way to my grave. And watching her collapse and suffocate woke me up. And I said, I gotta save my daughter's life before I die. And so I was already researching all the medical articles and journals and just obsessively reading because at this point I'm $120,000 into doctor's visits and they're giving me the best 15 minutes that they can.
Hey, man, that's like 3 times the VA, man.
Yeah.
So I found good.
Yeah. The VA, you get 5 minutes, bro.
I found good doctors, and that's good to know. Well, so to make the story short, I traveled around the U.S. and I found doctors to heal me because my daughter was 12 at the time, and my wife's like, "You're not putting anything in her." Experimental. So we fixed me, and I came back to life pretty quick. Actually 2 hours, and then so we waited a month to make sure I didn't have any side effects, and we gave it to her, and she came back to life in 8 hours, and started connecting with doctors all over the U.S. to help people recover and teach these doctors of the information that I now know. And it's working, it's spreading, and people recovering, and going through the whole process of not having any hope at all left for you. And you go to the doctors and they're like, well, this is it. That wasn't it for me. And luckily my daughter was dying. So I've come together with a lot of practitioners, and we're opening a healing center in Pacific. And how we crossed paths was I did recover after dying for 828 days. I mean, suffocating, collapsing on a daily basis. And when you come back to life in 2 hours, your body might be fixed, but your brain's not. So I had chronic PTSD, and I couldn't go into a grocery store without, wow.
Gee, yeah, I know. Yeah, when I was fresh home from Iraq and Afghanistan, I had to take weeks before I could be. I remember coming back from my first tour, going to a concert and feeling like, I don't know, I was just like out of my mind, terrified. And I can't to this day really understand why, but yeah, your body is in a safe place, but your mind is still where your body used to be, right? Is that kind of a way to think about it? There's a lag. Mm-hmm. Fully understood.
Yeah. I now, at the healing center, we're teaching breath work, but now understand if you can breathe properly, it's a great tool to have in your toolbox, because it's your nervous system, one, and two, when you're breathing through your chest, your brain's not getting enough oxygen to satisfy itself. So it's freaking out because it's not getting saturated oxygen. So it's like all the bells and whistles are going off, and you think a saber-toothed tiger is coming to attack you. So you're freaking out. Your nervous system is. So it just kind of.
So the deep lung, breathing into the deep lung, somehow that oxygen is more valuable to the brain or something like that?
So breathing through your diaphragm activates parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
The vagus nerve. Everything is a vagus nerve. So when you're just breathing through your chest, right? Most people are breathing through their mouth, which is a no-no. You're supposed to breathe through your nose when you're not talking or eating, and then through the diaphragm. But just check throughout the day. Most people, put your hand on your stomach and you're not activating your belly button at all. It needs to be pushing out. You're breathing in and going in, and you're breathing out. And that will relax the vagus nerve. And so the brain will slow down a little bit. So little tool that I use to overcome my PTSD.
Breath work is powerful, man.
Yeah.
It's I tell you, of all the things that we put forward at the integration event, it's always breath work that comes back as people had perhaps the biggest experiences of the whole event.
Yeah, I was sobbing. I saw you this last time afterward, and I was sobbing, and I was able to forgive my father for some stuff at a level that I hadn't been able to do.
Yeah, from error.
And I've gone to the Amazon. I've done a lot of things. And it was just interesting how whenever you're ready for that next step of forgiveness, it'll come. So for me, it happened in breath work, but it was awesome to know how I didn't have to fly to the Amazon to get that level of breakthrough.
You can do this in your bedroom, man.
I know.
It's wild.
The way I'm able to get to the meditation states I'm now, because I could never meditate before. Like and I said to myself, meditation's not for me. Like it's not for me. And with breath work, I think that's how I've eventually been able to meditate, is just strictly because it doing these different types of breathing that then, like you said, relaxes, and all those voices in your mind can kind of stop and calm. You know what I mean? Like all the vagus nerve parasympathetic stuff.
Absolutely. We did get together last Friday. I was down in San Antonio with the Reverend Warriors chapter down there. And we had GV Freeman came down. And
the breathwork coach.
He did a full breathwork ceremony. He does it in a ceremonial context.
Oh yeah, he does.
So we did that for as many of the Grunt style employees and the Reverend Warrior folks down there in San Antonio that we could get together in that one room. And I got to join in on that one. It's been a while since I've got to do breathwork with GV, but man, did I need that! I had no idea what I had been packing around. I'm pretty good on that stuff for the most part. I engage that stuff pretty regular, but I was overdue. I needed the old oil change by way of the breath work, and man, holy moly, was that was a good hour.
were people getting into it? Were people?
Yes, there was powerful experiences all the way around. One thing that I think that became pretty apparent to me is seeing the set and setting. Just like with psychedelic assisted therapy, that seems to play a really big role in the breathwork as well. A lot of the folks that were down there that joined us for that had not previously been to one of our integration events or one of our workshops, and so they had read all the things on our social media, and they've heard all the stories from people that had gone, and there were some big expectations from a few people. Or to the point where they were genuinely, I wouldn't say they were scared, but they were certainly nervous as to what they might encounter or what might come up
With breathing.
Right. And that stuff
powerful.
comes up, man.
It's powerful.
And it is a thing. And so, yeah, we just had a wonderful experience down there on Friday, and we're going to be taking that on the road as soon as we can get it stood up. We're trying to get our integration events, pushed out. But we want to start taking opportunities or providing opportunities for different IW chapters to engage us and, bring down some facilitators to your neck of the woods, wherever these folks may be,
Yes.
that want us to come and do that. So more to come on that, but I'm very, very excited about that one.
Awesome. Yeah. So you were saying you're doing breath work.
Yeah. So what brought me to you guys is I went to the first integration retreat and horrible PTSD, like I said. And it's funny because I'm sitting in my truck and everyone's going down to the I'm going to butcher the name. The Native Americans.
Inipi.
Yes.
Sweat Lodge. Yeah. I thought we sat in Sweat Lodge. We sweated all over each other, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, it was fantastic. But I'm literally sitting in my truck and I'm waiting for everyone to venture down to the teepee.
Uh-huh.
And I was booking. I was gone. And Will's like, "Hey, come on." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming." He's like, "No, I'll walk you down." And little did he know, completely changed my life because I sat there with you warriors. I've never served, so thank you guys for your service and everything. But to sit with you warriors and just bleed it out, sweat it out in there, it changed something in me, and it woke up my warrior.
Yeah.
I knew I was a warrior for surviving the medical community.
Yeah.
And saving my child's life, but that just woke my spirit back up, and I was like, I'm a bad dude.
Dude,
So,
hell
I got
yeah.
this.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, because for me in the Sweat Lodge, the anxiety comes first, but then it flips to that warrior.
Yeah.
It is so cool to be re-empowered,
Yeah, light you up. And then, like you were just mentioning, GV, I went to his breathwork class on the next Saturday, and it was the first time my nervous system let go since the whole, medical thing in 2020. So it took me 4 years for my nervous system to drop, and I felt it hit the floor. It almost made a noise in my head. It was like thump, and I'm like, whoa, that was a release. So yeah, just amazing work what you guys are doing at these integrations, and that's where our paths have crossed, and I'm trying to do similar things at my healing center in
Beautiful.
Pacific.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about the designs. What do you have planned for that? Because I know I'll throw out the first softball on it. We're wanting to use Tim's venue for our monthly offerings of it's basically the same classes that we do at integration. Just bringing the practitioner to Tim's facility and making it available there. So that could be one of many things, as we always say, there's many paths up the mountain. So
up the mountain.
We want to bring as many of those as we can to Tim's establishment, and hopefully continue to build a really strong community here in St. Louis and the region, and find more people that are like-minded and continue to build this thing out. So what else do you got planned? I've seen your facility. It's wonderful for that.
Yeah, so it's called HOME, which it stands for House of Medicine Healing Center. I would like it to stand. I would like it to be House of Education, but that acronym doesn't go very well.
Go visit the hose down.
House of Education. I love it. Hey, for Irreverent Warriors, that actually works really well.
Yeah, man. You can give them membership cards. You're an official Ho, member of Ho. I like it.
It's an education station is what it is. I mean, we're going to have healing modalities from yoga to breath work, to I have access to doctors that are curing cancer with ivermectin and fenbendazole, curing autoimmune disease, POTS. I have those doctors. Now, not all of them will reside in the facility because these are doctors all over the United States, but you'll be able to access them through Zoom. And then the really neat part, which I love about it, which is why I wanted to call it Ho, is there's a
Call it Ho, man. Just call it Ho.
I can't do it. I want to protect the children.
It's probably
and
trademarked.
and the innocent.
It's probably trademarked. It's trademarked by Ludacris.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll look into it after I leave. But so we have a podcast studio. Every practitioner that comes through will ask to record a quick 5-minute podcast. So when you walk into my door and you say, "Hey, I don't know where to start. I have diabetes." Good. I have a doctor. Check out this podcast. You should look at this. Instead of what I did when I was sick, I chose 36 different doctors off of a picture and a bio they took a long time to write and make it sound accurate. They stole $120,000 from me and I was still sick. So having a podcast studio here, these people will have access to these podcasts and say, man, I love how that person speaks. Like I can see how they actually want to heal, see them speaking from their heart. They make that connection already when they walk in there. They already feel comfortable walking in there. Like this is going to work for me.
Yeah.
I found my place.
So how did you find out about integration? First one, we were really that was our first one you attended was our pilot. So we really didn't advertise that so much.
Yeah. How did the universe put that on your plate?
Yeah.
My friend Charlie, that herbalist Charlie,
Yeah, Charlie.
That comes to the meditations. I believe she mentioned it to me, and like I said, I already fixed my body. I was trying to find ways to fix my brain, and I was trying a lot of different things that were not having any success with me. So that was just let's try it.
She's brilliant.
Oh,
She is literally legit brilliant. And shout out to Charlie Sprouts, everybody. I hope she's going to be involved over at Tim's Ho Ranch.
Well, we
That's too good.
we already have her supplementation there. She makes some fantastic products. I mean, the way she explains it is beautifully. Most products, you're getting 10% of the actual supplement, where with hers, I mean, it's the most bioavailable. So when I tell people we have Charlie's gummies, they're like, well, I don't do THC. It's not THC.
Yeah, man,
it's
so much of this
plants
out there. Right.
that you're actually, they're bioavailable to you by the way she makes them. So she's going to be a huge part.
Man, we have brainwashed multiple generations in this country.
It's so easy. It must be so easy to brainwash.
It has to be, because I mean, you go back 150 years. No, we didn't have isolated plant compounds suspended in petroleum pills. I mean, medicine has been medicine since the dawn of time, at least when we started kind of unraveling it. And
the planet that grew us can heal us.
Right. Yes. And so, I mean, how have we completely, the things you're talking about and the work that Charlie does, I mean, you want to see some impact, go get down with some stuff from Charlie Sprouts and get after some real healing, and somehow along the way, we have convinced people that
needs to be made in a lab.
Bad. It has to be corrupted and made in a lab and for somebody's giant profit in order for it to be legitimate. And everything else is alternative medicine. It's like, I think it's the original medicine,
Yeah, nature is a pharmacy, and it's hilarious. We've a lot of these pharmaceuticals are derived from stuff in the Amazon that was recreated synthetically in a lab and then given to you, and you're told, no. This lab-grown synthetic is actually the real thing that should heal you, and that other thing is pseudoscience. Right. The fact that nature is a pharmacy is pseudoscience. Yeah, it's brilliant, and I'll tell you what, it really contributes well to revenue and profit.
Well, it's a side effect, I mean, one of the many side effects.
Some very smart people out there.
Yeah. Well, who are some of the other folks that you're working with over there, or at least the modalities?
So right now we got John Lanius, who's
He's
teaching
fantastic.
Aiki.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Komodo.
Wow.
Japanese incense for everybody that's not been to an integration event. That guy,
Will blow your mind.
he will absolutely. And he's
Yeah.
like the most interesting man in the world too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
literally,
Like,
yeah.
He's trained with Steven Seagal and Aikido and the Japanese grandmasters of Komodos and Japanese incense ceremonies.
And he
worked
works
with
for the
government.
CIA.
I mean,
Yeah.
weird
He's a
dude, man.
Swiss Army knife, and he's funny.
And
too.
he is funny.
Hilarious.
He's got that really freaking smart guy, dry wit, and where he just like boom, disassembles everything and hits you with it.
Karate's with his words too. So he's starting another 10-week course of Aiki this Monday.
Cool.
It'd be a 10-week course, so if anyone's interested in that, they can go to homehealingcenter.com and sign up for that. That blew my mind because I sat with him, and I used to be a kickboxer, street fighter, and he said, "Punch me in the face." I don't want to punch you in the face.
Yeah, you look like you could punch a hole through concrete. Tim.
That's what he told me. He goes, "You're gonna punch a hole through me if you hit me." I go, "I know, I don't want to hit you." He said, "Fucking hit me." And I'm like, "Okay." So I swung at him, from close, like right here, and I had tried to hit, and he blocked it. I go, "Oh, okay, cool. Like, how do I do that now?"
Yeah, he's legit, man.
Teach me.
John is legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's taught me how to make some incense too.
Like
Yeah.
make it like out of what? Like how do you make incense?
So you have to get like sap beads, like frankincense sap beads. You freeze it. You grind it in, like, what you make avocado guacamole with.
Yeah.
In one of those bowls.
Yeah.
And then you make it into a powder, and then you put it on those little silver trays, those little discs.
Yeah.
That's one way to do it. And then also if you want to take a plant and create incense from a plant, then you take the flowers or the leaves or whatever, like eucalyptus or cannabis or whatever you want, and you put it in parchment paper, and then iron it with a flat iron with a lot of pressure, and then it creates a resin.
Really?
And you knock all that off, and then you scrape all the resin, and then you can have like a frankincense powder, and you can have resin from another plant, and you can combine
it?
them and create, you have like a suspended disc over a tea candle or something, and you put it in there. And then for my meditation sessions, having something on the scent, nose smelling side, as well as with the breath work, it's just been like boom, ching.
Yeah, it's unreal, man, and it's not like incense like you go buy at the bookstore or whatever that is just overpoweringly
it's not
smoky or
smoky.
whatever.
It's not smoky. Honestly, it's very very little smoke. And John Grady, from Slap
Yeah,
Happy,
yeah, John.
he's the one that told me about the ironing piece of the puzzle. And I'm actually going out to his farm after this podcast to gather some more plants for incense.
Really?
Yes.
Man, does John teach that class? Is that a class he offers? Because if that's at your joint, man, sign me up. I want to learn how to make my own incense.
Yeah.
I like the idea of doing it intentionally by myself,
He can tell you anything about incense.
Well, I know
Will,
he can do it, but I want to train my dumb ass. I want the formal,
Yeah. I mean, he literally is. No one knows more about incense.
No. I was like, I don't know if I want to go, and I went. I was completely blown away.
Yeah.
He's done it once at our facility. We'll definitely put it on the calendar for it to happen again, because that man's wisdom needs to be in your brain.
Yeah, he's a hell of a guy. So
Yeah.
what else you got cooking over
So we have yoga classes, breathwork classes, sound bowls. We have a men's group that meets every Tuesday at 6 p.m. It goes for about 2 hours.
Wow.
One of the things that I found through my journey was when and I won't go too far off topic, but I was suicidal because I couldn't sleep for 3 weeks, and anything I ate shut down my lungs. And as I'm screaming at the ceiling, like, if there's a God, I need a masculine figure to come into my life. I basically felt like a child, and I needed my dad to protect me. So I'm just screaming, if you're real, show me a masculine guy. Well, the only thing I could do was take my children to school, and then I'd come back and collapse on the couch. So I'm backing out of the driveway one day, and my buddy calls, I haven't talked to in 5 years, and says, "What do you want to talk about?" And I stopped backing out of the driveway, and I said, "Excuse me?" He goes, I'm on my way to my shed, and God said, call Tim, call Tim, call Tim. So what the fuck do you want to talk about? Can I cuss on here? Sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
only in
Okay.
sentences where you invoke the name of God.
Yeah,
first.
yeah. Please
That's the rule here.
No, but you would find it interesting. I love this story.
Yeah.
The data out of the VA for suicide shows that people are 4 or 5 times less likely to kill themselves if they have a spiritual practice. So there is data behind this. Continue your story.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah. So, I just started crying, and I'm like, I'm at rock bottom. I don't know what to do. He came over and spoke life into me for hours, and then did this multiple times, and then I just felt myself getting control of myself a little bit to where I could handle this as a man. He baptized me a year later, but so I've created a men's group. It is not religious by any means.
Spiritual.
It is spiritual by all means, but it's called Elevate. It's a Spartan shield where we lock shields and we come sit in a room together, and then we just drop our shit.
Nice.
And we get real for 2 hours. We've
That's-
had people that were suicidal that walked in there, drug addicts that walked in there, and within a week or two, they're like, I've never thought this could happen. Like
Community.
it's a brotherhood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. Good
Yeah.
for you. Good
Yeah,
for you,
thank
man.
you.
That's
So-
beautiful. So
yeah.
I think for a lot of the veterans in our community, that's some of what they get from Irreverent Warriors. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
wonderful, powerful.
I would love to bring my men to anything to help them grow. And I say my men, it's a group of us. We're just a brotherhood. I'm
Sure.
I'm
It's a
part of
round
it.
table.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So we do that. We have a women's group that meets there as well too. We have a massage therapist. We're looking for healers as well too. So
In the Pacific, kind of, or people willing to drive.
yeah,
Yeah.
people that are willing to come out and work. I have five large rooms that could be used for different healing modalities. At the end of this month, I got to plug this. October 26th, we're doing a health and wellness vendor fair. It's on a Sunday, and we can fit 32 vendors in there comfortably.
Good Lord, that's huge.
Yeah, yeah. And what I hope to do with that is, the community will come out and support the vendors, but I hope to, instead of sitting with one vendor at a time, talk to all 32 vendors and be like, I really like your product. I got to like the person too. I got to like their mission. I got to like why they're doing everything. And so it's for me to sit with 32.
Authenticity.
Yeah. I want to see that not that you suffered, but you're doing it for the right reasons. Not to hit the pyramid thing so you get a vacation for your family.
Right.
You really have this supplement that you believe in. Because if you believe in it, I'm going to believe in it, and then the people
Right.
are going to believe in it. So,
Well, I'll tell you what, man, be sure and hold on to that contact information. We'd love to extend an invitation out to our third gathering for integration next year. And
yeah.
see if we can plug them in. So if IW St. Louis, I really want to involve those guys out where you are and all of our tribe that we've made from the local integration, and also let's set up some big things to where we can regather the folks that come from the various areas around the country. And we even had a lady came from Sweden this year at integration. So the tribe is growing, man. So we'd love to get out there and make use of your amazing space. So more to follow, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you. And I got to plug the integration. That single event, this last event, it keeps unfolding in my life. Like week after week, different people and connections, and the community is, and just the spirit's growing. Like you have to check it out. Like
It's special, man.
it's amazing. So thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, the GSF integration retreats are so unique. There's a lot of retreats that exist out there where someone's going to fix you, right? Someone's going to heal you. But the beauty of the Grunt Style Foundation integration retreat, and we're seeing it here on the screen, but the beauty of that is that you get to dip your toe into 30 different modalities and see what calls to your heart, right? And you were called into Sweat Lodge, right, Tim? And you were called into breath work, and you were called into Japanese incense. Would you have ever ran into Japanese incense in a regular everyday life? Right. And I don't think anybody could have pitched you on, you're going to go to this retreat where you're going to be healed by a guru and it's going to be Japanese incense. You wouldn't have, that's just, you need to dip your toe into things to really learn about them. And the GSF integration retreats lets your heart be the guide and empowers you to dip your toe into all these different modalities. That's why I love it. That's my plug.
Hey, man, thanks for the plug.
Yeah.
We'll do it again next year. And again, we're going to try to get this thing on the road in 26. We're going to start trying to get this thing out. We haven't selected locations or dates yet, but we have had so many offers from all over the country of people wanting to act as organizers locally and bring that thing out. And we're seeing IW chapters start taking, doing similar, like what we just talked with Kim and, the female retreats. So it's all working, man. It's all getting out there.
And if there's an ability for some of our chapters to start sequencing or scheduling out your team,
yes,
I think that would be huge. Speaking of what the chapters have going on, upcoming this weekend, we've got our Gulf Coast Beach Bash, our annual beach bash down in Florida. On the Gulf of America, Mexico, and
did you just slip in Mexico? You're dead naming the Gulf view.
I'm just reminding people that I haven't been plugged in for a while. Okay. We've got people that have been in the woods for a long time.
I don't want to see like crazy division fights break out in the comments section over the name of the Gulf of America or Mexico.
Yeah, Gulf Coast Beach Bash down near Destin, Florida. That's going to be going on all weekend. That's fantastic. Go check that out. I know that Nate and Anna have been planning something really special with their team down there, so that sounds awesome. Plus, we got Houston, Texas is going to be our big, massive Texas hike of the year, so that's a big destination hike, and that's going to be fantastic weather, it looks like. And then also, we've got a big hike coming up in North Carolina, our big Crystal Coast, North Carolina hike coming up, which is also a big destination hike on the East Coast. So looking forward to those 3 big Silkies hikes coming up.
Yeah, man, I wish I had more time in my life because, like, you just named off, like, I want to go to that one. I want to go to that one for this reason. I want to go to that one for this reason. And the one with Crystal Cove, man, I want to go out there just because of the people. You got Matt and Stephanie. And all the.
They've got a great. They've built like an awesome North Carolina IW community. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I need to get out that way. What's the big city that's close to that? Charlotte or what's else out there?
Yeah, it's. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like it exists in my mind as like on the ocean and mountains. And that's kind of what I think. Or Mayberry. I always think of Andy Griffith, too.
Well, I should know this because I was stationed at Camp Lejeune.
Well, you drink the water.
But I
brought your brain out there, so.
I know there's going to be a lot of folks coming down from that whole area. But even in the Camp Lejeune area, there's like 5 towns along the coast.
Yeah.
And they're all
connected into that.
Wilmington and Jacksonville and all these different towns. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great destination, North Carolina hike. They do a great job. So looking forward to that. And thank you for all of our volunteer leaders out there. And thanks, everybody from the community and the tribe joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you're starting to get into the Halloween spirit. And we will see you next time.
That's right.